Today is a beautiful, peaceful day here on the homestead. Um, just like the sounds of nature and everything encapsulate us. I've been working on a lot of stuff around the homestead, like off camera, obviously. Um, where do I begin? Let me show you guys around really quick. Make sure you guys smash that like button. This is the back creek. This is the creek that I got in the backyard. We've had torrential rains all day today, and yeah, we got some more cleaning up to do. I had a load of some stuff get dropped off. That's where that white stuff is, right there. I got to cut that up and discarded it. Um, I've been getting some more big chunks of lumber that I cut up from my neighbor's house, hauling it over here. I try to set it up on top of pallets. Let me see if I could zoom in. Yep. Set it up over there on top of pallets, over there on top of pallets, just to get it off the ground to let it dry out because it was sitting on my neighbor's property in the dirt, and that's where we haul it from is my neighbor's house. But yeah, so eventually what we're going to do is we're going to finish cleaning up all the dead timber and all the cut timber. um, that stuff right there I'm not really going to worry about. There's one down there that's already cut up, and then there's some garbage in the creek, at least on my land, that I want to get cleaned up. Let's see, right over there, some garbage. But yeah, let me show you guys around, show you guys what we've been working on. And then I got some more work to do on Big Eartha. I don't want to spend too much time over here because I did get a tick on my body the other day. Not that I'm really too concerned, but you know, Lyme disease is real. It did originate in Connecticut, so I actually have to run out to Home Depot today and see if they have a like a fogger or something like that. Not like a fogger, but a just something that I can spray from like a pump sprayer and use my leaf blower to disperse it all around the property. And then I actually have to make contact with my neighbors over here to let them know that, I actually found a tick on me. My lady actually found it on my side. It was like already buried and dug in. So, so yeah, this is all the tree service wood. What's up? Hold on one second. I'm trying to zoom out. I don't know why it keeps doing that. This is all the tree service wood that we got dropped off. I've been slowly but surely. I actually planned on cutting up some more today. So if you guys want to watch me do that, I guess you guys could watch me do that later. I'll keep an eye on the forecast. But yeah, there's a lot of smaller stuff that I could cut quite easily. I just got done. Yo, good afternoon. So yeah, a lot of this wood is really easy to cut. It's just I got that little rinky dink 18-volt 12-inch bar on my chainsaw. So I'm very limited to the amount of power that the chainsaw exerts. And then I also have a huge log over there that I actually want to get probably cut that and get it down to the point where it's manageable sizes. So, okay, 1 a.m. Good morning then. So, yeah, so this is all tree service wood. This is some older wood that they dropped off. Um, that stuff is like gnarly. Some of it is like rotted. I'm not really worried about the rotted pieces because it's just gonna rot out here in the yard anyway. So the biggest issue that I have are these massive rounds. The muffin team, this guy. Yeah, these big I think they're like pine or spruce, and these things give my log splitter a run for their money. So, yeah, so all this wood got to get cut up and brought over there. That wood bin is practically full. It's like heaping since the last time you guys saw it. My brother and his family came up to come help me out for the day. It was a Sunday, I believe, because he works on Saturday. So it was last excuse me, 2 Sundays ago. And so yeah, he came to help me out. A lot of these small pallets we are actually going to try to use for that gated area over there. Yeah, the muffin team. The muffin team is trolling. Don't pay any mind to the muffin team. There's a reason why he's called the muffin team and not the muffin man, because the one man just wasn't good enough. He needed a man. He needed a team. So yeah, all this wood I want to get up off the ground. Anything that we're gonna split or whatever. These round chunks, we call them cookies. Cookies. Firewood is still good. All wood burns, baby. As long as we dry it out. That's some rotted wood that we took out. Um, I think eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to order another load of pallets, and I am going to probably extend this wood bin out because that's already heaping. My sides are already bulging. So that way I can extend it out and then build the sides up. And yeah, probably somehow try to reinforce them or something. I have no clue. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff, but I do have some work on my son's truck, Big Eartha. I'm in Mongolia, and the time is 1 a.m. for me. After a few minutes, it's going to be 2 a.m. Nice. Yeah, 2 a.m. is the time that I'm normally at work, 2:05 in the morning. But you guys could see that we can actually put more here on the rim. These pallets seem to be holding, but I actually think I'm gonna install uh, some more wire to hold it, because this one only has two. I think I could put like one more. We have a lot more space. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Oh man. So yeah, I actually have a lot more work to do, but yeah, we're gonna start work on Big Eartha in a little bit, and then I'm gonna finish showing you guys over here what I've been doing. Um, I'm actually in the process of clearing out all this brush. This brush has been taking over the property well before I got it. So I'm actually in the process of like cutting all this stuff down, leaving the trees, but I want the brush gone because I want full access to the creek. Because what I plan on doing is planting stuff all down here. It's probably not going to get done this season, but if I could get it done, that'll be cool. I'll just have to wait till after the ground dries up a little bit, and take my hedge trimmer and come in here and really start trimming everything down, and then we'll drag it to where my lady's car is parked right there in the concrete part, and then letting it dry out, and then we'll set it ablaze. But we actually have these big huge bamboo shoots that are coming up. These things grow like nobody's business. I actually just cut these just the other day, and they're already starting to grow back. Obviously the taller ones I didn't get to it, but if you see all like the lowland stuff, I actually want to build that up a little bit more and have more access to the creek, and that way I can plant pumpkins and stuff like that all down in there without getting eaten up by vines and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is already cut and piled here before I even got here. Not sure how long ago this wood has been, or how long this wood has been sitting here, And if we find like random stuff out in the woods, in the wooded areas, because of we had some massive windstorms. So I will probably hook up some straps or some screws and straps or tow line to this wood, and then have maybe my lady drive it out. But yeah, we have a lot of wood in here that has yet to be uncovered, and then that we could just run through the splitter. What's up, Brent? What's up, Prylat? What the hell are you talking about? Talking about clearing all this land, clearing all this, not the trees, just the smaller stuff, all those thorn bushes, stuff like that. All that green stuff has thorns on it. So it's not just about walking in there with a machete. Like, I'm probably gonna have to get one of those hedge trimmers, on like those pole hedge trimmers, to like really get in there and start cutting that stuff down. I got vines that run all the way up to the trees. No auto. I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so pretty much started clearing all this out, started chopping it down. I got to come through here with the weed whacker again. See, I'm getting snagged by thorns and stuff. I came through here with the weed whacker the other day, and really started clearing out some more stuff. My electric weed whacker got messed up, so I got a gas one now. Finally rated. Yeah, a lot of work. But yeah, let me show you how we did so far. I actually cleared this whole path, and this is the plan. Thank you, No Auto. I appreciate it. God bless you too, man. But yeah, so we got this really strong stream here. I think it goes underneath that property over there somewhere. But yeah, so I'm in the process of clearing all this smaller brush out of here just to open it up. I mean, I do like my privacy, and I wish these weren't thorn bushes, but they are. Also, to get these sticks out of here. Any vegetation that I can cut up and burn it. Like, I wish I could just set all this ablaze and just be done with it, but fortunately, I can't just do that. But that's a lot of water that comes in, and I would love to have access to that, because I do have some solar irrigation systems that I plan on utilizing. And you can see there, whether this is rotted or not, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't think it's completely rotted, but I pulled some more wood, do a squat, and also nice. But yeah, so the plan is to open all this up and then utilize this for agriculture. You know, plant pumpkins and that we can consume, or share with our friends and family. So, but yeah, so that's part of the plan. That's part of the goal. Move these big rocks out of here. See, we got some huge stumps over here, some huge logs that normally I would just screw something down to it and then yank it out of there. That's all good firewood. Just get it on a few pallets, let it dry out, or just put it right on top of the wood bin. Yep, so that's the goal. I do have to get a new lawnmower this year. That one took a heck of a beating. I actually built this thing. It's not really much to show, but I put a bunch of different screws in there. The idea was to take this, chuck it into the woods, pull the vines forward, and then take my hedge trimmer and just start cutting down the vines and stuff. So, and I know we got frogs in this yard as well. This is all spalted stuff. Look at that, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's really starting to come down now. But yeah, so the goal is to build up the wood bin, all that wood dry out. So you gotta get, like I said, I'm thinking about getting another load of pallets delivered, and then keep building that wood bin, and then we actually want to build our own farm stand somewhere out front, probably over there in that corner, right by the pole. And I do have some maple trees on my property, which are that cluster right there. So tap the maple trees, start making maple syrup kind of thing. Am I trying to become a farmer? No, I figure if I got all this land, I'm gonna make it work for me. All right, cool. So let me come over here, grab my tripod. Give me one moment, set you guys up. But yeah, anyway, how's everybody's weekend going? What you guys got planned? More importantly, what is the weather like where you guys are? Because it's doom and gloom here. I mean, I like it because we need the rain. I actually have some more. Um, I actually have more. What do you call that? Um, Homestead improvements coming. I actually bought a downspout, which is the gutter that comes from your roof. The downspout, which is the main pipe that you know helps divert the water from your roof. I actually bought a downspout um, diversion or diverter. Um, yeah, so basically, it diverts the rainwater from going out onto the floor, so that way you can harvest the rainwater, collect it in the rain barrel, and then use that to water your plants or whatever it is you want to do with it. I actually just bought it. It should be here from Amazon, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that should be here tomorrow, and see how that pans out. And I actually have a few old garbage cans, one of which has a lid that I plan on using. But yeah, let's get into the topic, or not the topic, but the project for today. Get my headlamp on, and then I'll set you guys up over there. I'm gonna grab this battery. And there are a few things that I have to get. Bear with me a second. All right, cool. I'm gonna move you guys over here. So let's see. What's up, Sam? Learning a lot. Nice. Appreciate that. How big are you? Massive. How big are you? Um, how many times are you gonna ask that? What do you mean? How big am I? How tall am I? How much I weigh? What do you want to know? I'm gonna lower this tripod so you guys can see. Put you guys this way. Cool. Excuse me, I just gotta grab a few more things. All right, so one of the things that happened the last time. Yeah. Yes, sir, fun guy. You know it. I just gotta adjust you guys really quick. There we go. All right. I'm probably not going to be able to read the comments. If I could flip you guys around. There we go. All right. So one of the things that, even though this truck is not built for speed, it does have a lot of it. This truck was mainly built for power and for hauling. If you guys are unfamiliar with this truck and you're new to the channel, this truck is called Big Eartha. Big Eartha has a dump bucket. She has some holders for tools and hand tools and stuff like that. This is my son's. It's not a power wheel, but it's essentially a power wheel. It actually has working headlights. The strobe lights I have to redo. I just installed reverse lights on it. This truck was originally a 12-volt truck, and it got upgraded to two 24-volt motors, 775 motors with new gearboxes with steel gears on the inside. Now, I guess you would ask, why is that important? It's because this truck does do a lot of heavy hauling. My son uses this vehicle as one of the workhorses here on the Homestead. And if you go onto the channel on our TikTok, Instagram, you guys can see. Just bear with me. I'm gonna plug you guys in. If you go on the Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube channel, you guys can find videos of this truck hauling wood, and that's before the motor and gear upgrades on this unit. So once it got upgraded, everything else had to get upgraded as well. And what I mean by that is that the electrical needed an overhaul. This truck has so much power that I actually had to install a boost controller, which is over here, to basically control how much power is going to the motors, because this truck exerts so much torque and so much power that when my son steps on the fuel pedal, mind you, it's all electric. It runs off of two 18-volt Ryobi batteries. When he steps on the fuel, the whole truck kind of bows in the middle. So yeah, it's just I'm gonna end up reinforcing the underside of it as well. Let me grab some zip ties, because I just noticed I need zip ties in here. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab everything now before I sit down and start working on this. I'm kind of going to be pinched between the wall and the truck. I kind of just need everything before I sit down. So she actually got upgraded wheels. I had the front axles re-welded. Yeah, this actually, with the 12-volt motors, was actually able to push my teenage nephew around. And he's not very small, but he's not very big either. But one of the last times we did just like a regular speed run, put some NOS in it. This truck basically already has, I guess in a way, NOS, if you will. So the last time we did a speed run, just to see, approximately, how fast we could get it to go, boost on full boost, and my son straight sent it when he popped it into second gear. This truck does have gears. When he popped it in second gear, we didn't know it at the time, but it kind of sent too much electrical surge from the battery and back through the circuit. So this is the second time I had to replace a Ryobi battery. Now these batteries cost anywhere from like 100 to like 160 a piece. And I actually got a good deal on these for Black Friday. So, and what I noticed was that one of the things that I did was when I when I first started working on the truck's electrical and upgrading everything, I did put 3 inline fuses, and I think I'll move you guys over here and then raise you guys up a little bit so you guys can overlook what we're doing. Just bear with me. You guys straight down. Sweet. So I ended up putting 3 inline fuses, but I only did that to the positive terminals. One from one battery, one going from one battery charger or docking station to the other docking station, and then one to the, because it has to run in series. So I guess negative. I don't know. I actually have to take a look at it and just make sure that every single line has a inline fuse. I think it does, but if it does already, then there's no sense of me cutting any of these wires and stuff. So I did buy another package of inline fuses, complete with the fuses. I do have more fuses, but the thing that I realized was that I originally got these with 30 amp fuses, and then what I did was I upgraded to 40 amp fuses because it essentially popped a 30 amp fuse before, and I'm like, well, maybe if I just up the amperage on the fuse, it should be able to hold more current and not pop as frequently. But as I quickly found out, when I put the 40 amp fuses in every single one of the inline fuse holders, the surge bypassed the inline fuse and fried the battery. So with that being said, I'll just carry more 30 amp fuses because it runs on 30 amp fuses, but I guess 40 amp was too high of a fuse rating or a surge rating for it to for it to hold back. Or maybe it was just under 40 amps, maybe it was 35 amps, 32 amps, and it was still able to, the surge was still able to flow through the 40 amp fuses. Give me 1 second. So rubber wheels. I just saw the video of your son hauling the logs. You should have put some rubber on them. So Johnny Cage, what you hear in that video is not, let me turn off this light. What you hear in that video is not the plastic meeting the road. That is the gears whining under the load of all that wood. This truck does have rubber on the tires, and I'll show you really quick before I start digging into this electrical issue. So let's see, here we go. So if you look here, these are actually Harbor Freight wheelbarrow tires, and those tires do not belong to that rim. I actually have rubber tires, screwed bike tires, the plastic OEM tires, and the goal is to, excuse me, make this truck into a dually. Already have the tires over here. We have the 5-point lug pattern. So the goal is to get 4 of these and then bolt to make this into a dually, and then mount this to there. But the part of the issue is that I have to connect the drive to this hub somehow. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. but it has to get done in order for me to have drive on here. Now, again, these tires are more aggressive, and I like that. These tires are more aggressive to provide tread. And then I'll show you 1 second. I'm not trying to drop that. Oh man, fun guy, you're taking the fun out of it, man. Don't even make me think about these things. Fun guy, you're supposed to be a fun guy. You're taking. Oh man, you're acting like my wife, right? Fun guy, come on. That's not a legit question. Somebody kick fun guy out of here. This is blasphemy, Frank. What's the deal, Frank? All right, so these were the tires that came. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Now that I think about it, I actually think those are the tires that came on that run. My mistake. It was. It might be. Sorry, I messed up my elbow doing an oil change on my car last weekend. I think it was like this. So part of the issues that I have right here, but they come with tires, and then I have to take. I might be confused. My lady actually tidied up the garage, but anyway, these rims. I'm cutting out. All right, hold on. Let me see if I could connect to the Wi-Fi. 1 second. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Smash that like button if it's better. Leave a comment if it's better. So I think my camera quality is top 10. Sorry, dang. All right, so very long story short, these rims come with different tires. The tires look like this, so I actually have to buy the boltless ones to swap the tires that look like this off of this rim, and then the boltless ones without those actually have this tread tire. So I do a one for one swap, and I don't want to return them back to Harbor Freight because I think I could, do something with, the the boltless, the boltless rims. So yeah. So with that being said, I plan on probably building like another trailer or something. He still has his pup trailer over there, and that's his motorcycle I've been trying to fix for the longest. But Razor keeps sending me faulty parts because I just got another one. Let me see, right here, and it still doesn't work. And I already paid Razor parts for the part, and still not doing anything. But let's see. So yeah, so I actually have to figure out how the drive shaft or the drive hub is gonna mount onto here because it does not like align with these bolt patterns. So what I was thinking is that maybe I could build like a JB Weld plate, or if I could get like another steel plate and then almost like a converter plate. So if I could find something that's round that could fit in here, that I could put here, mark the holes for this. Um, I don't know, or figure out what the hub pattern is for this. I don't know, dude. You should just get gas. Um, See, the thing is, it's like I like this dude. Like my son's been driving this thing since he was 2 years old, and he's four now. And even at 2 years old, he was just a badass. He just whipping. Oh man, you could go back into the videos and you could look up Big Eartha and the pup trailer. So that it's kind of hard to tell, but under there's an identical truck of this, but it's orange. And yeah, so it's orange. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, so it's orange. So I actually built a little tow hitch for it. Oh, there it is. I built a tow hitch for it. Ooh, my wire's getting snagged on stuff. I built a tow hitch for it, and that trailer hitch, sorry, that trailer hitch for it actually connects to the back of Big Eartha, and I built a custom tow hitch for it. And that trailer was actually powered, but now that this truck runs on two 18-volt batteries, I actually have some modifications I have to do to that trailer. Maybe take out one of the gears so that way the gear doesn't make contact with the motor in it, so that it'll just free spin, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. But yeah, I've been. If you really want to know how much money I've spent on this truck, um, it's gonna take me a second to figure that out. But hold on 1 second. I actually put you guys the wrong way. Give me 1 second. I actually put you guys the wrong way. No, because my son actually enjoys driving this thing, man. And he had like a lot of the stuff that's in here is actually his. You know, he has a Razor quad. I installed headlights on it. Headlights are right here. This truck actually has headlights on it, hideaway strobe lights that I actually have to fix or replace the module or whatever. But yeah, so now the motor and gear upgrades, I could show you guys what that looks like really quick if you want to see what that looks like. If you're new to the channel, this again is the boost controller. This controls how much juice actually goes to the motors. This right here is the power for all the accessories, including the lights, the headlights, the horn. So he has an old school Wooga horn, and he has headlights, and he actually has this truck with the amount of power going to those motors. I've installed cooling systems on the motors. Each motor, there's two of them, both have heat sinks with fans mounted to the heat sinks and lights and windows that you can look inside the truck and look at the motors and the fans working. So hold on, I'll show you what that looks like. I have to turn off I'm gonna have to close this door really quick. Just for best effect. I'm gonna close this door really quick. And then I have to unstrap this bucket. So this bucket, I actually installed straps on it because my 60-pound pit bull would ride. Yeah, so my 60-pound pit bull would ride back here, and this bucket, since it's a toy, it has a lot of play in it. So I actually installed safety straps to hold the bucket down. So when my son steps on the accelerator, the bucket doesn't, the bucket doesn't jolt backwards, and then, my son, the bucket doesn't jolt backwards, and then the dog doesn't fall out, if that makes sense. I actually installed reverse lights on this truck as well. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to put my headlamp on, put it on the lowest setting. So, there we go. What's up, Jesse? All right, so there's actually 3 LED light strips that go back there for whatever reason. The other 2 are not working. I think there's a break in the connection right here. I'll just have to address that really quick, get my soldering iron figured out. And that's powered by this switch. So when my son puts the truck in reverse, it touches a momentary switch that sends electricity from one terminal down to the other terminal and then back down to the light. And then I'll show you. Let me pop this bucket up. Try not to make a mess. And then these are the windows that anybody, obviously it's dirty. It's a workhorse. But anybody from the outside could look in, turn this light off, flip this switch, and he actually has motors with cooling fans and heat sinks to help cool down the motors, and those are attached to this potentiometer, and I can control the fan speed. So if I wanted to turn the fans off and just keep the lights on, I just turn down the power going to the fans. And then if I wanted the fans on, crank them up. And then all that is powered by this switch that's up here. Headlights are there. The other toggle switch is to turn on the cooling fans, the motor, and the lights that people can look inside and see the motor and the upgrades in there. And then all that runs off of one 18-volt Ryobi battery on a 18-volt to 12-volt step-down converter, which is that silver box that's in there. Hold on 1 second. Now I'm going to put you guys over here. And we're going to just take a quick peek at the electrical, make sure I have inline fuses going to every single one of the connections. I think I do, but I just want to be sure. Because there's no other reason why. There's no other reason why, besides me upgrading from the 30 amp fuses to the 40 amp fuses, there's no other reason why the battery should have short circuited. So I'm gonna just take a quick peek. I'm gonna try not to cut anything first. Let me get back here, turn my headlamp on, and then point you guys down. There we go. All right, so yeah, before I cut any wires or anything, so this red wire I know goes direct to the truck. So I'm gonna pull this out, and then yeah, I'll just cut these zip ties really quick. I got more here, so every single one of those zip ties, I'm gonna cut that. just so that I could pull the wires out and inspect them. And I actually had to run the juice to go to the boost controller first and then come out back down to the truck. So I'm actually wondering if I install the boost inline fuse for the boost controller or not. I doubt it, but now that I think about it and I'm here, I don't think that would be a bad idea. All right, let's see. So we actually got quite a little bit of a tangle here. So I'm going to take this, put this here. All right, cool. So it looks like we have one for the negative. So negative inline fuse. This looks like positive that goes to the boost controller. So I think this positive goes to that battery. And then, yeah, there is another inline fuse in here. So yeah, it looks like all my bases are covered. So I have positive going to the negative. Then I would track the negative wire, which is right here. Hold on, nope. So negative, follow that black line. Yeah, so negative to positive right here. Cool. So that means that this negative goes direct to the boost controller. And then this positive, which comes from that battery, direct to the boost controller. So yeah, that's all covered. Now I think what I have to do is I'm going to have to put a positive. Let me see. So this is positive, negative to the boost controller. Okay. So what it looks like here is that I'm going to put two more inline fuses from these two come from the boost controller unprotected to the motors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these and install inline fuses on both of these. So I'll move those two. Ow! I just hit my head on that. That sucked. Slide this truck over. Alright, there we go. And inline fuses. And I actually gotta order some more of these. If you guys don't have these and you guys do any small electrical work, low voltage kind of stuff, get this off of Amazon. This is a solder and seal connector. We are actually going to need 4 of these right now, hopefully, only 4. And for this one, I know for a fact we're going to use these blue ones. And these actually come with beads of solder on the inside, which is that silver thing. So we're actually going to need those. All right. I will put those there. That seems like a pretty good space. And I'm actually going to back up that tripod that you guys are mounted to. So I can slide the whole truck over. So yeah, so we're actually going to cut these wires right here. No, not those. These right here. Maybe peel back some of this electrical tape. I did my blade. That is not my blade. Like use that in my pocket. peel back this electrical tape. And we're only doing this so that we can avoid frying $300 worth of Ryobi batteries. So peel that back. And then we are going to cut these two wires. We're going to do them one at a time just to avoid any confusion. So we'll take this, cut that, cut that, and then got some wire strippers. I'm going to peel this. Okay. And I'm going to take this, peel that. Cool. Now, we're going to grab two inline fuses. Might as well do it now. Got one in there. I don't want to keep going back in. Two inline fuses. Green should be 30 amp fuses. You know, they're 30 amp fuses. So we're going to take out two green 30 amp fuses. I don't know what kind of fuses these orange ones are. Let me take a look. Oh, the orange ones are 40 amp fuses. Cool. So put that back in the bag. All right. Each one of these come with, it's a looped wire. So we're actually going to pull it right here. And we're going to cut it there. And we're going to cut it here. We're going to strip off the insulation. I'm glad I did a bonfire barbecue last night because today is not the day. All right, same thing with this one. We're going to cut off that insulation. Cool. All right, insulation has been cut. I'm going to put the inline fuse in. Make sure that's nice and snug. Put the cover on it. Make sure that goes all the way down. Fuse inside the fuse holder again. There we go. Snap that down. And then we're going to take this, take one of our connectors, our solder connectors. We're going to string that through. And we're going to take this negative line. I think what I'll do is I'll probably cut that one a little bit lower and start fresh on that, because it looks like some of those copper wires got severed. So take this, pull that, and probably right there. All right. Give that a quick twist. Much better. And I don't know where the other wire went. Oh, it's right here. Cool. So I'm going to stick that right in there. Make sure that the two wires touch. What I like about these is all you need is just a little lighter. And that will eventually melt the solder bead. Obviously, you have a blowtorch, which I do have, just not in here. Or if you have like a little jet lighter, that'll obviously work. Yeah, a little jet lighter will work better, but or your low torch. All right. All right. So now we're going to take this end, straighten out these wire fibers or wires. I'm going to grab another end connector, put this here, grab the other end of this wire, and I'm going to wiggle that right in there. And we're going to go ahead and apply some heat to that. Yep, normally when the blue goo comes out, that's how you know you're doing it good. And I always like to do these twice. Just to make sure everything is good. All right, so we're gonna let these two cool. And then we'll work on the other one, wherever that may be. So that goes right there. And then the other wire, down by inline fuse, which is this red one right here. Take the wire cutters, the wire strippers, I mean. Gotta be careful. That connector is still hot. If it weren't raining, I'd have my kid come out here and give you guys a little show. So now this is the other inline fuse. We're going to install that there. Give these wires a little twist. Put that there. And then we're going to put those in together. Get the lighter. Get that solder bead to melt. Oh no, my lighter ran out of juice, Frank. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get the blowtorch really quick. Oh, I don't know how it ran out of fuel because I could see the fuel clearly in there. That's weird. That's weird. Okay. So we only got one more left. So the other connector. Give these wires a good twist. Give these wires a good twist. We're gonna stick those right there. We're gonna stick these right here. This one I gotta make a little longer. twist these wires. But yeah, these connectors are like some of the best investments I've ever made. And I've had this thing for years. Cool. See, I don't understand. I could see the lighter fluid in there. I just don't know why it's bogging down. Right. Let that be a lesson learned. Next time, take your next time get your torch lighter or your blowtorch and figure that out. All right, so all these tools I am done with except for the wire strippers, and I think I had 3 zip ties on there, so I'll put those there. Lighter I'll put over here. I don't want to leave any tools back here. So now we're going to grab all these inline fuses. And we are going to butt them up next to each other. And we're going to zip tie them. I think there's one more. Yep. And then we'll try to figure out what's going on with the reverse light. And these wires, push those together. And then this spider web of wires. We cut these. And then the docking station, have to fix that. And these wires have to be tucked in there. This wire gets pulled here. And all these wires get tucked behind that. One more zip tie. I will attempt to get all this down in there. And snug as a rug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Tighten that down. These are the seat belts. So now that should be good. I mean, this truck puts out some serious power. So now I'm gonna leave this up here. Then we'll go check out the reverse lights. But before we do that, we have to plug in the soldering iron. I do have my power inverter up there, and I do have a secondary battery I can put here. So I'll take this battery out. I'll put a smaller battery there. Drop my blade. Let me clean up this floor really quick. And these zip ties go back over here. And then let me find my other battery really quick. That rain must be really coming down. What did I do with that battery? Oh, it's right here underneath the box I just put on the table. Mise en place, everything in its place. Cool. Here's a smaller battery. This is a 2 amp versus that 6 amp. And I'm going to get my power inverter and my soldering iron, wherever that may be. Nope. Nothing in that bag. Okay, power inverter, battery. I just gotta find my soldering iron. Let's see. Gotta be around here somewhere. No, seriously, where is it? Oh, they fell, that's why. Alright, soldering iron. Turn on the power inverter. I'm gonna get my flux, my solder. I'm gonna set you guys up over here. And bring you guys back down. Alright, so I got my soldering iron and I got my So what I have to do now is just prepare this reverse light setup. I don't know why it's not turning on, but I'm gonna figure that out right now. I might have to get some spare wire just in case. Grab that. Grab some wire strippers. And I don't think I have. Probably small wire. That's way too big. I want that. This should work. Sweet. Don't worry. I'll bring you guys down so you guys can see. Oh, it looks like my son ran into something. There is some damage on this LED strip. Let me go grab a different one. Looks like he backed into something that might have broke the circuit. That's all right. No sweat. I got like 10 more of those. Maybe. Bring you guys down. And I might need maybe this. Let's see if I can prop the truck on top of it. There we go. So you guys can see. There we go. So there's actually some damage right here on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the solder bead from that. I don't know how I'm going to get it off of that. But yeah, that looks like that might have broken the circuit. Grab all my tools and stuff. Razor blade, we're going to take off this black strip here. Cut this a little bit off. We're going to use this to spread the flux. Flux helps spread solder. So this is called flux paste. And we're going to use this to desolder the factory wires on this. Put that to the side. got that prepped. Now what I got to do is I got to desolder the light that's on here. I have to get some flux paste. Get a generous amount. Same thing with this side. All right, cool. Flux paste has been applied. So remove that wire. Remove that wire. Okay. And then we remove oh yeah. The LED is definitely damaged. There we go. Now we can take our knife. Try to pop this one off. Slide it all the way down. Take this off as well. See if we can at least. Start my kid, you gotta be more careful when he drives. Now I could get brake cleaner and be all super specific about that, but what good is it gonna do? Nothing. Alright, so we got our double-sided sticky thing, labob. And put it underneath. Before I put it up there, let me just make sure I measure it because I think it might be a little longer than the LED. Yeah, not by much though. But any extra is too much. So. So now we're going to stick this under here. And I'm going to line that up right there. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Peel the other part of that off. And 1, 2. Looks like it actually folded a little bit right there. All right, there you go. Now, before I put this up here, I want to pre-flux the terminals. That way I don't have to struggle to do it once it's in there. Prep is everything. All right, so we're gonna slide that in there. And we're gonna slide that right there. We're gonna press down. Scooch that up just a wee bit. Scooch that up. All right, now the resoldering process can begin. Flux on here. And then I got my Radio Shack solder. What's up, gaming channel? What's going on? And we are going to attempt to. Oh, that didn't work. We're going to attempt to push this LED up a little bit. There you go. And same thing on this side. There you go, right there. And then I actually bought some extra wire and a plug that I'm not using. What we're going to do, we're going to clean that wire. Get some bare copper out of it. We're going to flux this whole thing. This whole strand of copper. Okay. Then we are going to attempt to pre-solder it. So that way it doesn't bend, doesn't move. All right. And then we're going to need another bead of solder. Ow, that was still hot. We're going to need another bead of solder to put on the actual terminals themselves. There we go. Okay. And we'll just put a little piece of wire in here. We'll reflux that. And get some more solder on my soldering iron. Try to solder that so it holds. Okay. It looks like it's holding. That's soldered on. Bottom is soldered. Now we gotta just solder the left side. What happened to the delivery driver job? That contract actually got canceled for us at least. Lately, I've been seeing TMC do that contract, and I can only imagine how that's going. I would love to interview that guy. Whoever drives that truck for the Home Depot deliveries out here, man, that guy must be going through it. All right, let's get a little bit more solder. So now I just drive for somebody else. I'm home every day. Let's see. Oh, what the crap? Looks like the wire started burning up. That's wild. Wonder what the crap happened. I might just have to finish soldering that without the lights being on. I'll try that again and then I'll replace these wires here. It looks like these wires are fine. It's just the wires going up to the truck got mega hot. No sweat. So it looks like those wires got dumb hot to the point where they started melting. I don't know, maybe it's just too much current. Okay. All right. What I might try to do is I might try to use this white wire because it seems like a good gauge of wire to use to connect these wires together. take this. Push that up a little bit. All right. And let's see. See if I could get both of these wires on there at the same time. All right. Hope you guys can see that. So we're actually soldering these two connectors right here. It's probably hard to see. We're almost done. Somewhere for lunch anyway. You guys gonna get for lunch? All right, some flux in both sides of the wires. And then what I'm going to do is on here, there's a line, there's a side with gray stripes on it. That is what I'll use for positive. Positive is on the bottom on this one. Negative is up on top. I will get my flux and my solder. Okay, that appears to be holding. I'm going to put a little bit more on. Okay. Now for this side, I'll put a little bit more on. All right. So now that that's all set, this wire is going to go down to this one. Right here. Blade. And what I'm going to do is before I put the connectors on, I'm going to just make sure that it works as intended. So I think in this case, green is positive. I'll just wrap that like that. And blue is negative. Wires apart. Blue up. All right, cool. Now, moment of truth. Gonna see if the lights work. No juice. Still? Alright, so maybe I got the polarity wrong. Nope, still no juice. Make sure the power switch is on. There we go. So all the reverse lights work as intended. Get some of these connectors later. Okay. Oh, it is boring. All right. So, and I didn't grab my lighter. I mean, we needed the rain, God knows that. Alright, so we'll do these one at a time. Okay, so it looks like the blue disconnected first. Clean up these wires a little bit. Alright, put the white wire in on this side. Put the blue wire. I can actually trim up that white wire. Just a little bit. Tighten up those strands. And now I can shorten it just so it's smooth. Wet wire, pull those strands, twist them nice and tight. Trim those up just a little bit. Alright. Then the connector. And then I don't know where my yellow tape is. Let's see. Right, so the white side, green side. There we go. Get the lighter. Okay. And you can just take this little piece of tape, put that right there, pull this one off. Alright. This is how we do it. It's time to clean up the debris. Go inside, get some lunch. We're just going to double check our work really quick. Just cover everything up really quick. And we're just going to make sure that those lights work. Alright, time to see if it works. It works. Sweet. That's what I like to see, that's what I like to hear. I'll take you guys outside really quick. And it is pouring right now. But all good though. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And thank you guys for sticking with us through this while we continue to work and upgrade our workhorses, so that way we can get more jobs done around the homestead, and we'll have more, good videos coming to you guys, or live streams once I get time. I know it's hard because Monday through Friday I'm cranking out 60 hours a week at work, and then when I get home, I'm doing stuff around the house most of the time. I'm not by myself, so there's other people here, so that kind of makes it more difficult. And on top of that, a lot of times when I'm doing stuff, I'm always mobile and I don't have the ability to bring my phone with me and set up and record. But, we'll save the grief for another day. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Later. And go get some lunch. Go get some lunch.